Today we'll be pulling apart this MFC-290C, which is a Brother machine. It's our first continuous ink printer to pull apart. It's got a scanner with a document handler on the top, and the only method to print to this machine other than the SD card on the front is via USB. Okay, so welcome to our first Brother. This thing is jam-packed. It's got a document feeder, card readers, fax machine, paper tray, actual paper tray which holds paper, scanner across the top, of course, with the document handler, and our first machine which doesn't use thermal print heads. It's got individual inks for each colour, and they're dripping and they're empty, of course. I got this machine, literally picked this machine up off the side of the road. It's out of inks, I haven't checked the price, maybe it was in the intro, but probably more than what a new machine's worth. So when I picked this one up, it had an error on it. The scanner unit was just kept on driving that way, and so it would come up an error code, but since then I've rebooted it and it seems fine. So for this one, if you watched the last video on the MP-470, I was trying to work out how the scanner worked because I want to use the scanner in another project, and I couldn't for that one, but we might be able to do this one. So I've just got to try and figure out how to make the machine run without completely destroying it, to figure out how the scanner works. So just looking underneath the top, it's got a whole lot of inspection covers here, so we'll whip those off and see what we can find. So we've got the first one here, which is the USB for printing comes in here, so I'm thinking the control board must be in this part of the machine. I don't think they'd design it so they have a cable running from the USB, just to save on cost. Cables cost money, right? So I'll pop this cover off, it's going to the back, so I'm thinking it might be going up into the scanner. And here's a ribbon cable, and it looks suspiciously like a cable going to the TI sensor. That's cool. We've got another panel on this side going to the back, and maybe this is because this cable here wouldn't be able to handle the current to drive all the motors in the top, so maybe that comes down the side here. So some beefy looking cables here. This will probably be the controller, the motors, and running the motors and that for the top bit. Over here it's probably the ribbon cable for the scanning unit. So we'll meter this out like we did last time to see if we can find out how it works. It's at 11, or it could be 2, who knows. Actually it's 10. 10 or 3, who knows. This could be pin 1, this could be pin 1, it's hard to tell, but we'll just go through it again. So we've decided that pin 1 was a ground, pin 2 wasn't, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we've got 2 grounds, which is pretty normal. So next thing we want to do is check the voltage of each pin. This will be 0, obviously, because it's a ground. It's 0. It's 0. It's pretty much 0. So these lamps have 3 rows of LEDs, red, green and blue, and it activates each one individually when scanning a colour image to make up the colour image. In the old days they used to have CCDs and these things, and it would get all 3 colours at once, but this machines, all these older machines, to keep the price down, they scan 1 colour at a time. So the scanners are quite slow because it's sampling 3 times in one pass. So potentially these first 3 are the RGB LEDs because they've got no voltage at the moment. It's pretty much 0 as well. 0. 1.5. So it's probably the analog output. Let's just count which one that is. It's pin 6 is 1.5. Pin 8 is 1 volt. Pin 9 is 3.3. Pin 12 is 1. 11 is pretty much 0. And 10, as we know, is our ground. So we kind of figured out the power supply, probably the analog input. I'm just going to check on the internet to see if there's a service mode for these things. I can turn on LEDs individually. That'll save us a lot of time because when it's scanning, it's going to turn them all on anyway. So we'll just check that. So this has got sort of a maintenance mode, but you can't really do too much. If you want to go into maintenance mode on, not that anybody's going with this printer, right? But menu, mono, and up 4 times, and it goes into maintenance mode. You can just dial in codes over here to make it do something, and the manual I found is not particularly helpful, but it does do a white reference. So if I put in 55, it does go through an initialization process, so I can at least figure out which pin is the analog pin and which pins are the LED pins. So it's just a case of sort of a case of eliminating the other pins for the clock cycle and the latch cycle. So now I've got to add details, so I'll just start pulling it apart. So first things first, I want to get the scanner out so I can work on it on my other project later on. Pull power out, so cover cells. pancake stepper motor, similar to what I found on the Canon last time. Now, the reason to use one of these over a DC motor is when you stop a DC motor, it'll run on a little bit. It won't stop. You can't really, well, you can brake, but they'd have to add an H bridge to the electronics. It's probably more expensive. So the scanner usually goes in bytes, so it'll scan across, stop, fill its memory, and print out. And while it's printing out, it'll start up again. So it needs to start and stop in exactly the same place. Otherwise, you'll get lines in your scans. So that's why they use step motors. A little dot matrix type screen there. It's only got a few wires there, so it should be quite easy to reuse. This is just junk, pretty much. I can't do anything with it. There's no buttons on it. It's no use to us at all. Same with this. There's nothing on there with keeping. Judging by the size of it, this will be the main printer control board. USB is it? USB, compact flash, secure digital. That's the USB for the computer, so it prints in through there. Bit too old for a Wi-Fi module. Some tiny little opto sensors here just to see if the ink cartridges are in. Usual paper feed timing situation. It's got a fine pattern going these gears, and it's got just a little infrared sensor there to count the pulses to make sure the paper feed is running at the right speed. So this is our first printer where the inks are separate from the head. All the other ones I've done so far, the head's been a thermal one and it's had the print head built onto the ink cartridge. This one, it pumps it through there, which means you have bigger cartridges. You don't pay for your print head, but of course if this print head dies, the machine just throw away. And it just seems to look like it's going straight into the head, so I'm not sure how it's feeding those inks in. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comment section, but that is what the printhead looks like. That's the whole assembly. I'll go back to the main board, obviously, for driving it, head, and cartridges, plumbing. It's a suitably beefy motor. This is the one that drives the head printed back and forward. This just must be the cleaning system, maybe. I don't see how this is plumbed into the printhead at all. It's just sort of a pumping system to pump, and it cleans out the printhead, just sucks all the ink away somewhere. And this will be it into this really healthy sized reservoir. No real value, it's full of ink. I can't really do anything with it. Straight for the bin. This is the feeder assembly. This machine is pretty modular compared to the other printers I've had. They've all it all goes in bits. With the other printers I've had, they've just that are sort of all melded into melted into the chassis, whereas this has got different modules. It's got a paper feed module, it's got the ink module, all these different bits and pieces, so perhaps they're just getting all different pieces from different places and putting it into the printer. Okay, the feed rollers, and then the paper tray is probably a pad to stop it from feeding too many sheets. Just there, a cork sort of arrangement. It's a waste ink, so if you don't know where your ink's going, it's going in here as well as the other one. This must be just squirts out at the end, whereas the other one's the cleaning one. It's the base of it. Not as heavy as the other ones I've had, more cleaning stuff, for God's sake. That one's sodden. This is our power supply and fax machine. Okay. So the mains comes in here and comes out here, so it'll be interesting to see what those voltages are. I actually found the service manual for this book, so actually found the service manual for this machine, so I'll probably better find out what the voltages are. They're obviously not being helpful, just placing them on the board itself, but there might be something we might be able to make a power supply out of it. And it's just part of the fax machine, which is good for the museum maybe, that's about it. Tiny little sensors. Okay, so that's it. Pretty much completed, disassembled. I'll get together my bounty and it'll be coming up next. I completely forgot about the document handler, so better get that apart as well. printer. I didn't think there's a lot of parts in this printer until I got the dog in my hands and I realised there's a lot of parts in this printer. So I've got couple of DC motors. This one's off the pump. And it's got an encoder on it, so if you need something with a bit of timing, might be ideal. This is a really beefy DC motor. And this is a small one, and two stepper motors as well, one's bigger than the other. Ton of infrared sensors for detecting things, LCD screen as well, which we should probably try and get to work. Belts, tons of steel, the power supply, I'm not sure if we're going to do something with that, we'll give it a go, and usual ton of plastic. But this printer's got lots of bits and these shafts as well, so like I'm trying to make a pen plotter, and these shafts will be ideal for that. In fact, I could probably make a pen plotter about what's in this, just with what's in this machine. So this machine is people are just giving them away, right? This one was on the side of the road, looking at the local auction site. They're like dollar reserves. People are just trying to get rid of them because they're really old now. It's got a fax machine, it must be old, right? And there's just a ton of parts in this printer for making all sorts of things. So definitely, if you're looking for a printer, these Brother ones, there's lots of, I've seen tons of these particular shaped machines. They all got the same insides, to be honest. They've just been updating the covers. So that particular machine is a really good find for getting bits and pieces. If you want to see another printer which has lots of parts, click here. If you want to make sure you don't miss the next one being pulled apart, click here.